Day 17. Today's topic is about who inspires me and why. So I've been thinking about this one and I am having a lot of trouble with it because I don't really, um, I guess, get terribly inspired by people and the things and what they say and what they do. Um, there are a few people I would like to aspire to with an A, um, but they don't quote inspire me. I, inspiration is very fleeting, and it it can be generated, but it's very organic and unpredictable. So I don't put a lot of stock into inspiration. Um, there are time, for me, inspiration is about thought. It's not people. People don't really inspire me. Um, so I am having a really hard time with this one, and let alone giving a reason why. The few names that come to mind, whether they're scientists or mathematicians and such, um, you know, like Leonardo da Vinci was one of the figures that I can remember being wowed about throughout my life, and I still am. Um, Isaac Newton, uh, uh, Einstein, Albert Einstein. But for me, I've dug enough to learn about the people behind the historical figures. They're not just techniques and knowledge and amazing insights. They're people. Albert Einstein was a womanizer. Um, uh, uh, Newton was very religious. So it's the thing that if I was going to put a why on why these people, keep captivating my attention and interest, is because the amount of effort they put into things to do something that really, I don't want to say it wasn't needed, but didn't see immediate value in it. There was an interest in them, a burning curiosity, and they chased it. Uh, Einstein was bored as a patent clerk and was using his imagination, and he wasn't very great at math. He actually had to get a lot of help to translate his ideas, his observations, into a mathematical framework that you could start doing, the theoretical physics. So, you know, things that aren't so scientific related. Uh, Henry Ford, the car and the industrialization that he brought about. Um, he was very famous for not taking no. I want this and get it done, and be damned if it was thought to be possible or not. Um, Edison, kind of the same thing. He's more scientific, but he was actually uh, much more interested in business. I don't think a lot of people realize that. He invented because, he had that bent, but he was inventing to make money. Um, yeah, the light, that was actually, in my opinion, one of the lesser things he did. You know, he was involved in electricity in general, and the way things were being developed and distributed across the nation. But at that time, just on the East Coast. So, you know, Edison, he is an example of, if you got to know more about what he did or was willing to do, find out he was not a very nice man. Um, so why would I be inspired? It's a tenacity, but I don't want to be like him. I don't want to aspire to be him. I want to be me. And these qualities that I see in people, those are the kind of things I want to take in. Um, Napoleon Hill, the author that everybody probably will have heard of for Think and Grow Rich, you know, basically a journalist who just sort of stumbled across something and got an unusual offer, and instead of him and hawing about it, he thought about what it would take to commit in about 30 seconds and actually followed through. Um, you know, he never got the notoriety that I think he ought to. But again, the only thing that really inspired me about him was his faith in, at that time, the sciences that he knew and the things that he was willing to do. A lot of people don't realize he had a son who was born essentially with no ears. And uh, he did not want that life for his son back then, and even now it's not that great for profound death. Um, but he believed differently, and he found a way to get his son to understand spoken language, and it was quite ingenious. And with enough time and persistence, and instilling this desire in his son to find a solution for his hearing problem, he eventually started getting some solutions. I think it was the mid 1940s, maybe 50s, right around there. Um, so again, I don't want to be like them, but I want some of their features. So again, I'm having a lot of trouble with this one because emulation, although it's very flattering, is the worst thing we can do to ourselves. Um, you know, kind of going back to this YouTube thing where I'm trying to get in there. There's so many people just say, copy what everyone else is doing and put your spin on it. And that's usually spoken sideways out of the mouth. And uh, they, I don't agree with that. We are individuals, and we can't breathe and grow if we try to be a copy of somebody. Um, and that's what inspiration, as I understand it, that people use now, is that being little mimics. Um, and it's so fleeting. I just don't find it something to think about or pursue. Uh, but anyways, I'm just rambling. So I will call this done. Until next time.